Good morning, everybody. Raise your hand if you're ready for more rain. Another storm.
The only one.
On the way. Thanks, everybody, for being here at 6 a.m. I'm Eric Connard.
And I'm Neda Irampur. We do have team coverage for you on this. CBS 8's Dana Marie McNichol explaining how the rain is impacting the street repairs.
Yeah, we begin with meteorologist Evan Narani tracking the storm. I think I may have been the only one that raised their hand.
You're excited?
I'll take it.
Exactly.
It's during the week. It's the weekends that I want clear.
We are hoping for some Mayflowers, and many of them, right?
Yes.
We are starting off our morning here with dry skies, but showers are quickly on the heels of it, with showers arriving closer to about 10 and 11 a.m. today. By the afternoon and closer to the evening, we'll see those showers taper off, but only briefly, because we'll have more scattered potential into late tonight and early tomorrow, all the way through the start of opening day, just around 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So here is satellite radar imagery. Not only are we going to be working through many of these showers, but also cooler temperatures, wind, mountain snow. We'll lay it all out for you in just a few minutes. But the weather has damaged several roads across town, and the incoming rain today likely going to make things worse. The city of San Diego has a backlog of about 1,300 potholes that need to be filled, and CBS 8's Dana Marie McNichol is live in Kearny Mesa with those details. Dana Marie?
Well, Evan, we know when we're driving around our neighborhoods, there's one or two potholes that are just very annoying, and a lot of damage can be done to cars. The city says they're on it, they're trying to make it work, but because of the consistent rain that they've seen, it's hard to patch up those potholes. We spoke to the Department of Transportation director about how it's an all-hands-on-deck operation.
It's really hard for us to be able to fill the potholes when there's water in the potholes. We're not able to have the asphalt stick to the ground.
Now, the rainy weather can wreak havoc on our roads, creating new potholes and even breaking up the recently repaired ones. They say when we have sunny days like we saw yesterday, up to 60 staff members are out there using patch trucks. When they do have good weather, repair crews are working overtime and on weekends to catch up. According to the National Weather Service, San Diego has received more than 13 inches of rain since October 1st, and all that wet weather has accounted for 70 days of lost work on the potholes so far this year. And again, as Evan said, we have reports of 1,300 potholes across San Diego right now that crews are looking to get to. This month, the Transportation Department started really assessing the road conditions across the entire city. They will continue that through summer and then hopefully see those results come fall. So if you don't get your potholes fixed right away, it really is due to the wet weather that we have consistently. Again, rain today and tomorrow, so hopefully a patch of sunshine will allow those crews to get some work done. I'm Dana Marie McNichol reporting live from Kearny Mesa.
Dana Marie, thank you. This morning, 2 registered sex offenders who allegedly engaged in sex acts with an underage girl at an El Cajon motel are scheduled to appear in court.
And this comes as El Cajon cracks down on assistance programs designed to help people who are homeless. CBS 8's Chris Groh live outside the East County Regional Center, where those 2 men will appear today. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Eric and Neda. And look, we're about 2.5 hours away from those 2 men making their court appearance, but the city of El Cajon not waiting for the conclusion of this trial in order to try to make some changes.
When I see an encampment outside of a motel, I typically stop my car and try to understand why they're there. And 9 times out of 10, they were discharged out of a county-run program for violating the rules.
And so that sound that you just heard there came from last night's meeting, but we also know that last week there were several instances of recommendations by city staff that were approved by the city council in order to try to improve what they feel like is an issue plaguing not only El Cajon but East County. So this is going to preclude, though, to El Cajon. This includes having motels give a monthly report to the city. The city wants to have organizations to give out vouchers to obtain special licenses by the end of April and to create plans for voucher recipients once they leave the motel. They're also looking into a 90-day moratorium on new vouchers, but they're not exactly sure if that is legal at this time. They're still looking into the legalities of that. Now, these recommendations are then going to be going forward, so we don't know exactly if they are going to be taking effect just yet. But again, all of this in response to This latest incident here, 34-year-old Lawrence Cantrell and 7-year-old Michael Inman accused of sexually assaulting a teenage girl at the Motel 6 on Montrose Court. Both men are registered sex offenders. One of them was using that hotel voucher program in order to have housing there and to eventually have permanent housing. Now, while many people, again, worried about the safety of residents here that are close to those motels and obviously about these accusations that are being put forth, they're also worried, though, about seeing some of these programs go away. Take a listen to this woman who, again, doesn't say that she was using hotel voucher programs in the past, but does say that programs like this one do have a benefit for the community. Take a listen.
There were times that we did not live at home. It wasn't safe. I don't know if we would have been recipients of motel vouchers or, at least a part of that program. But I'm just saying that to say I'm familiar with these programs. I have received some. I've benefited from some of the programs that are here in the county of San Diego.
And of course, we are going to continue to follow the developments from both what the city of El Cajon is trying to do as well as the criminal court proceedings there for these two men. You can follow along at CBS8.com. Back to you guys in studio.
Chris, thanks for that. New this morning, reparations for black Californians could reach $800 billion for years of over-policing, disproportionate incarceration, and housing discrimination. Today, the state's reparations task force will review that new estimate from economists. The number is more than twice the amount of California's annual budget. It's up to lawmakers if they approve any reparations. Critics say taxpayers are not responsible for slavery. This morning, the state of California can now collect data from oil companies and fine them if they make too much of a profit. We've been telling you about their record profits as we were paying $5, $6 a gallon. Governor Gavin Newsom signed this new law yesterday. Governor Newsom says the data will help us see how oil markets work and how companies set prices. Newsom says it will hold big oil accountable, but the California GOP says, quote, Democrats can call this a penalty on oil companies all they want, but let's call it what it really is, a gas tax. They say California's state taxes, environmental fuel blends, and more are, quote, self-inflicted price gougers that Democrats could tackle to bring down prices, but they'd rather point the finger elsewhere.
And now turning to your weather here. More rain expected to come through San Diego today, but look, more snow hitting other parts of the state. This photo of snow piling up in Tahoe from our very own Shannon Handy. How are you going to get out of that screen right there? Opening that would be really hard. We do want to see the weather where you live. You can always show us photos and videos. Just go to the CBS 8 app and you'll see at the bottom right there, there's the Near Me button. Click on that and then you click on the Share With Us button. And that all comes to our newsroom, so you may see those images right here on our newscast. So Evan, what's up with this next round of wet weather?
Well, hey, the mountaintops are going to get more snow. Palomar Mountain, Mount Laguna expecting that push from rain to snow. This initial cutoff for the start of the storm is about 6,500 feet, and then by tonight into early tomorrow, that drops down to about 3,500 feet, which means Palomar Mountain, Mount Laguna, they're expecting an additional foot of snow out there. Julian's going to be at about 1 to 2 inches. Here's a wider picture of satellite radar imagery. You can see all the moisture mainly hitting the LA area, pushing farther south as we speak. First band of rain is likely going to come on shore just around 10 a.m. for us. And you can see how we're already starting to see that green popping up there. So even right around North County, that Orange County, San Diego County border, we're starting to see maybe some light drizzle along with, of course, dense cloud cover building. How much rain could we see by the end of the day? We pause this at midnight tonight. We're looking at about 1/3 of an inch all the way up to 1/2 an inch for areas like Ramona and Alpine. If we push from midnight tonight all the way through tomorrow afternoon, we double these totals. So many push toward about 8/10, 9/10 of an inch. Carlsbad could see a full inch on the ground. Lighter accumulations the farther south you go towards San Diego and Chula Vista, only expecting about 7/10, so we can expect maybe 3/4 of an inch on the ground for the entirety of this storm for today, Wednesday, as well as tomorrow, Thursday. How much snow? Well, we have a winter weather advisory over the mountaintops all the way through 4 p.m. on Thursday. Again, we start off around 5,000, 6,500 feet or so, and then we see that drop down tonight into early tomorrow, accompanied by some gusty winds. Remember that if you're making any mountain pass travel plans. Palomar Mountain, along with Mount Laguna, 8 to 12 inches. Julian, 1 to 2 inches. Julian is guaranteed to see that start off as rain, and then that slow and steady transformation to snow is possible, though not guaranteed. nothing's really guaranteed with storms like this. Padres versus Rockies, Petco Park. First pitch 1:10 p.m. We're still going to be encountering a chance of rain in the forecast, though around that time frame, tomorrow afternoon, we're going to see a lot of that scattered shower activity taper off through the early afternoon time frame. So the best we can ask for is that clouds start to break apart. We're still going to hold on to very cold temperatures and gusty winds. However, there is that chance that we have some quick moving showers coming through in the 1 and 2 p.m. hour. You can find an extended weather forecast on CBS 8 Plus, which is free on Roku and Amazon Fire. Let's take a look at traffic here at 6:10. So far, traffic is light on the roads. No major crashes or collisions that we're encountering this morning. Head to our website, cbs8.com/traffic. It's got the latest on how the roads are shaping up.